Coming up today on This Is True Really News, malicious compliance.
Oh, I hate complying maliciously.
Oh, I love complying maliciously.
You're like that.
I am. So please like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News if you're like me. And I know I am. What?
Nothing. Nothing.
And if you find a story you think we should know about, TITR@netradio.network.
Especially if it involves malicious something or other.
Compliance.
That's the one. Oh, shut up, you whiner.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
So the Asker medical practice in Doncaster.
Doncaster. It sounds to me like an Italian mob boss who likes to fish.
Or it could be a spy. Doncaster. MI6. Where were we? Doncaster, United Kingdom. He wins the award for most Scrooge-like holiday massage, according to the BBC. Yes, December, around Christmas time.
Yes.
The center accidentally sent text to about 8,000 patients informing them that they have aggressive lung cancer with metastases.
Oof.
That's the worst kind.
Yep.
About half an hour later, recipients received a second text alerting them about an error. Patient Sarah Hargreaves said that she broke down when she read the first message. I just had a mole removed and wasn't awaiting. It was awaiting a result from the biopsy. So, yeah, I was worried.
Right? Oh, that poor gal.
Carl Chegwin was perplexed. It's not often I go to the doctor. I sat there scratching my head thinking I do smoke. Do they know something I don't?
Mm-hmm. Have I even had a chest x-ray lately?
If it's one of their admins that sent out a mass text, I wouldn't be trusting them to empty the bins. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
They still haven't traced
how that got sent.
Who and how and why everyone got those. Yeah. Merry Christmas? That's.
Well, if you're not the person with the metastases, then Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Or April Fool's.
What if some of them were actually, see, there you have the problem now. What if some of them were, Yeah. No, you wouldn't do that with email, would you? I mean, come on. I still find breaking up by email and text to be rude enough. This would be
terrible. Let's move on to a palate cleanser there.
Okay.
This guy's buddy maliciously complied at security on one of our subcontractor jobs. The customer was a manufacturer for high-end electronic components. Security was tight, as a small 4-inch by 6-inch box could contain $250,000 worth of microchips.
Yikes.
Our team was installing equipment in their facility for 1 week. A security checkpoint had to be passed every trip in or out of the building. Mr. Security Guard, we'll call him Chad, decided my coworker Steve was more suspicious than the other 4 techs. So every trip in or out, not only was Steve made to dump the entire contents of his backpack out on the table and go through it, Chad also required Steve to show him the last 5 pictures taken on his phone to prove he wasn't taking secrets.
All right.
This is all fine, except Chad lets everyone else through without any sort of inspection.
I see a problem here.
Right?
Yeah.
Steve is trying to stay positive, but obviously this is eating away at him. He tries to be overly positive and also a bit he's overly positive and a bit snarky with his comments like, thank you, Paul Blart, for keeping America safe, which busts up the rest of our crew. Then Steve gets an idea.
Uh-oh.
Wednesday comes along. Steve is overly scrutinized on our way out as usual. As we head to security at lunch, Steve says, I have to go to the bathroom. Comes back out a few minutes later, absolutely giddy. Chad Blart, mall cop, stops us on our way out and asks Steve to see his camera roll. Steve gladly hands the phone over.
Oh, no.
Chad is greeted by some very peculiarly angled shots of Steve's bare butt.
Well, you can only do so much with a selfie stick, I'm just saying.
What the heck? Chad throws the phone down on the table. Oh, sorry. I thought I had a hemorrhoid and wanted to see how bad it was. Is everything okay with my pictures? Is the facility safe? Chad never checked Steve's materials again.
Steve now retired to a country without extradition to the U.S. Only 4 weeks after that stopped. I don't understand.
I think that's wonderful.
In Dorchester, God help me, so do I. In Dorchester, Massachusetts, firefighters responded to a house fire late in December at a 3-story home. Oh, about 11:30 that morning, Mass Live reports police at the scene talked to a witness who said a woman named Nakia Rivera had told them, "I'm sorry I had to do it," before she went on the lam. Well, she went on the hoof. She was walking. So Rivera was found, and later the 45-year-old told officers, and I'm quoting now, "That house is haunted. I lit the house on fire because the devil made me do it. There are ghosts in my house." See, she's got to be unhinged, because why would the devil be burning up his own ghost?
Doesn't make any sense. You'd think you want to preserve those ghosts for further use. Yeah.
Well, can you burn something that's already dead, really?
No, you can't. I've been watching this series called Ghosts, and they don't burn.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the worst it gets is when you walk through them, it hurts them.
American version, or?
I'm watching the American version.
Okay. It's still hilarious. Do they have a guy with an arrow through his neck? Yeah, so do we. That was probably my favorite episode no, they're all my favorite episode.
It's just funny.
No residents or firefighters were hurt in the ghost fire, but Rivera
they get away with some of the things they get away with.
Yeah, well, they're ghosts, so they do.
When they leave for heaven, they have a unique way of calling it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Oh, you don't?
No one's left yet.
They haven't done that whole bit?
No.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to have to bleep myself, but it's like, yeah, it happens every now and again. Somebody seems to resolve something and then they get sucked off. We're all trying to get sucked off.
So while no residents or firefighters were hurt in the fire, Rivera was charged with arson and ordered to undergo psychiatric evaluation.
Speaking of which. So this happened to a colleague of a colleague who we will call Hero. Hero is happily speeding along in his car, running a few yellow lights because he's a bit late. Finally, the law catches up to him, pulls him over, and here's how the conversation went. "Officer, can I see your driving license, please?" Hero, smug grin. "Certainly. Here it is, officer." The officer takes the license back to his motorcycle, speaks into the radio. Hero, "It's not going to help you any." Officer, no reaction. "What do you mean?" "The server you have to check it against is down." Officer, "And why do you say that?"
Okay.
"Because I'm the guy they called to get on site and get it up again."
Sir?
He did not get a fine at this time.
Nope, not then. No.
That's really cute stuff. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. But
what are the odds? Go ahead, give it a try.
Yeah.
Going to take him a while to look through all the paperwork, though, because yikes.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.